Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Anmol. I am a doctor based in India, and in this video I am going to be sharing my experience and the valuable things that I learned about effectively preparing for competitive exams. So back in 2011 I gave the first competitive exam of my life, which was the pre-medical entrance test, also popularly known as NEET UG in India. In which I cleared it in the first attempt and secured a rank of 813, an all India rank of 813, and my state rank in the state exam, which was MPPMT, the one that I gave, my state rank was 3. Further, in 2019 I gave my postgraduate entrance exam, which was NEET PG, in which my all India rank was 363 and my state rank was 2. Which helped me get the branch of my dreams, which was dermatology, in one of the best institutes of the country. And people often ask me about my experience, and there are in fact a couple of important things that I've realized and learned along the way. So in this video I'm going to share some important tips and insights on how to effectively prepare for competitive exams and get better scores. My experience of course is with relevance to the pre-medical entrances in India, that is NEET UG and NEET PG, but I think some of these tips can help clear just about any competitive exam. So let's get to the important stuff. So before you begin your journey towards this goal that you desire, I believe it's important to have clarity about as to why exactly do you want to achieve it. I had once read somewhere that a strong enough why can help overcome any how, and it really resonated with me. I want you to ask yourself, why exactly do you want to achieve this? Here's how this helps. Firstly, it helps you stay internally motivated in times of stress and doubt throughout this long and difficult journey. And secondly, it also gives you a sense of purpose. It could be anything. You want to make your family proud. You have always, it has been your childhood dream to become a doctor, or you have always wanted to make a difference in the lives of the people as a doctor. It could be various things. Personally for me, it was my mom. I knew that it was something that was extremely important to her, and while growing up I had seen her place a lot of importance on my education, and I was acutely aware of how much she had sacrificed to make sure that I get the best of everything. And that is how having a clear sense of purpose as to why exactly I want to achieve this helped me stay internally motivated throughout this entire grueling journey. Now here's how this works. I want you to clearly and very specifically write on a piece of paper what exactly your goal is, what score you're aiming for, what rank you're aiming for, and the time by which you're going to achieve this goal. And I want you to put it somewhere in your room or your study space where you can see it every day, where you can see it clearly and regularly. Now this may sound very cliche, but it is very helpful because you always have a clear specific goal at the back of your mind, and it really helps you constantly stay aware of where you're headed. So after you have clearly defined what your goal is and why exactly it is important to you, it's time for action. It's time to make a plan, which basically means defining what portion of the syllabus are you going to cover in how much time. For example, now for NEET UG, you know that there are 3 subjects: physics, chemistry and biology, and you know the weightage of each subject. Physics has 45 questions, 180 marks. Chemistry again has 45 questions, 180 marks, and biology has 90 questions, 360 marks, which brings us to a total of 720 marks. So you have to divide. So for instance, you have an year to prepare, that is 12 months. So you have to divide the units of each of these subjects over these 12 months. Now the last 3 months are going to be kept aside for your revision. You can't afford to take any new information in those last 2 to 3 months of your preparation. They are basically for revision and for giving practice tests, etc. So you know that you have to essentially go finish the first go through of your entire syllabus by 9 months. 12 months minus 3 months for revision, that is 9 months. So you have to divide the topics over a period of 9 months. You can give, so the time how you're going to divide these topics will be based on their weightage, how important the topic is, and also based on your personal weaknesses. For instance, you're weak in a particular subject or a particular unit, so you may allot a little bit more time to that. But it is important that at the start of your preparation you have a clear idea in mind, a very timed defined specific goals, that this much of the portion I'm going to be done with by this period, and that's how you divide. You go backward and allot time to each unit. Similarly, for NEET PG, I had to prepare 18 subjects. I started preparing in April 2018 and my exam was in January 2019, so I had roughly about 9 months minus 3 months for revision. So I knew that the first go through of my entire syllabus should be done by 6 months, by the 6th month of my preparation. So I divided those 18 subjects based on their weightage over a period of 6 months. Which brings me to my next important point. This is especially true for medical exams because there is so much of information and it is so easy to get carried away trying to know it all, thinking that you'll somehow be able to retain it in the exam. Medicos know what I'm talking about, we've all been there, and this is one of the most common mistakes that I've seen people make while preparing for these exams. I believe that 2 to 3 cycles of revision before the exam, even if you miss out on going absolutely in depth in a few topics, gives you a real edge because you should be able to recall whatever you have read throughout your preparation in the exam, right? Otherwise it's all in vain, and that's where revision comes in. While preparing for both NEET UG and NEET PG, I made sure that the final 2 to 3 months of my preparation were kept aside solely for revision, that I don't take any new information in those periods and just revise what I have read. And that really helped me in the exam because I was able to recall things better and I was able to retain whatever I've read. If you continue to consume new information even in the last few months of your exam, there's a good chance that you might displace something that you have read earlier, because there's only so much that the brain can retain, right? So that's why I always emphasize on the importance of revision while preparing for, especially while preparing for medical entrances, because the syllabus is so vast and it's really hard to retain most parts of it. All I mean by this is that remember that your objective is to be able to retain things and recall them in the exam and not just read new information. You have to ultimately be able to recall whatever you've read in your preparation period, right? So like I've said previously, just make it a point that you are able to revise whatever you've read at least twice or thrice before the exam, instead of just trying to cover all the possible questions, trying to go too in depth into things and in the process compromising your revision. I actually remember this and it's a little bit hilarious, but my mom used to forbid me from reading whenever she felt that I was going too in depth into certain topics that have a low probability of being asked. The logic behind this is simple. There are 3 types of questions. High probability, that is the questions that are very frequently asked, repeated again almost every year or every other year, or questions from topics that are currently relevant in the current scenario, like coronavirus. Then you have your medium probability questions that are occasionally asked, once, twice or thrice. And then you have low probability questions, questions from topics which were asked once, rarely in one of the exams, or questions which have never been asked before. The thing is that when you are eventually going to practice lots and lots of MCQs, you are going to be able to prioritize questions like this. You are going to be able to understand that, okay, this is a high probability question, this looks like an important topic, this is something that has been asked frequently, or this has never been really asked before, this is too much detail. So you are yourself going to be able to prioritize questions this way, and that is going to be very helpful for you. Just make sure that trying to cover all possible questions that may be asked, you don't you don't end up taking too much information and creating a complete mess inside your brain. A very common question that people often ask me is that for how many hours did you used to study while preparing? And while I believe that the quantity of your study, that is the number of hours you're putting in each day, is important too, because these exams do require you to put in at least 6 to 7 hours each day. I think that people often neglect a very important aspect, that is the quality of the study. Now, what exactly is quality study? The number of hours you've put in with deep focus and concentration. How much are you able to retain after each study session? For how many days are you able to retain concepts after reading them each time? How well you have understood a particular topic. These are a few aspects of quality study that tell you that your study is quality. If you're able to achieve both while compromising on neither, that's great. But all I'm trying to say is that don't worry too much about whether you're putting in the right amount of hours or not. Or don't think that, okay, I'm going to sit and study for so and so hours and that's going to be it, while you're completely neglecting the quality of your study, which is more important. Because at some point in your preparation you will be told that, you know, putting in so and so amount of hours is the key. But at that point, I want you to remember that the quality of your study is much more important than the quantity. There are a few other important points that I'm going to be covering in my subsequent video. I hope you found this helpful, and if you have any doubts or any questions, you can ask me in the comments below, or you can also get in touch with me on Instagram or Facebook. If you liked this video, if you found this helpful, it would be really great if you could just hit the thumbs up button below and subscribe to my channel. Thanks a lot for watching.